AB 2462. We can do that later. And this deals with recalled products. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair and members. In 2008, California passed 1860 to make sure unsafe or recalled products are taken off the market and that consumers are notified. The intent was simple: protect public health and keep dangerous products out of circulation. But in practice, that system is not working the way it was intended. Instead of taking products back, manufacturers are often directing consumers to dispose of recalled items at local waste facilities or recycling centers. That means the costs and responsibility are being shifted away from manufacturers and onto local governments, taxpayers, and even nonprofit thrift stores who can't resell these items and are stuck paying to dispose of them. As a result, recalled products are still showing up in recycling streams, landfills, and secondhand markets, creating public health risks, environmental concerns, and unnecessary costs for local agencies. At the same time, product recalls are increasing significantly. Millions of unsafe items are being recalled each year, and many are never returned to the manufacturers. When products are recalled, the responsibility should remain with the companies that made and sold them, not with taxpayers or local agencies. AB 2462 clarifies that manufacturers must take back recalled products at no cost, not just to consumers or retailers, but also to recycling centers, waste facilities, and thrift stores. This bill also strengthens enforcement by giving CalRecycle authority to issue administrative penalties when companies fail to comply. And with me to testify in support are Joanne Brash, Director of Advocacy at the California Product Stewardship Council, and Jordan Wells, Legislative Advocate for CSAC.
Good afternoon, Chair Connolly and members of the committee. My name is Jordan Wells, and I'm here on behalf of the California State Association of Counties, which represents all of California's 58 counties and proud co-sponsor of AB 2462. I'd like to thank Assemblymember Pellerin for authoring this important measure and to the committee staff for their thoughtful analysis. AB 2462 would meaningfully improve an existing law designed to protect consumers and hold manufacturers accountable for dangerous product recalls. In 2008, the legislature passed AB 1860, California's Product Recall Safety and Protection Act. While AB 1860 requires recalled products to be returned and disposed to at no cost to consumers or retailers, manufacturers are often unresponsive and fail to facilitate their safe return, shifting the burden to local waste facilities. Unfortunately, the 2008 law did not anticipate this failure to fulfill manufacturers' responsibilities, and recycling and waste facilities were not included in the entities eligible to use this process. As a result, local jurisdictions, which are already operating under significant financial and operational strain, ultimately bear the end-of-life management costs, not the manufacturers. AB 2462 would remedy this issue by ensuring recycling and waste facilities, as well as thrift stores, are eligible entities under the state's Product Recall Safety and Protection Act. The bill would also improve enforceability by updating the definition of manufacturer to reflect the tiered definition that has become standard in modern producer responsibility statutes, and increases the fines for non-compliance to match current day penalties. For nearly 2 decades, these critical gaps have undermined the law's effectiveness, and for these reasons, we respectfully urge your aye vote on AB 2462. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair, Committee. My name is Joanne Brash. I'm Director of Advocacy for the California Product Stewardship Council. We're a nonprofit that advocates for EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, and product stewardship laws. And what we have found successful as sponsoring bills on medicine, needles, and propane and textiles, that working with the regulated community is how these programs are most successful. Federal recalls have been in place since the 1970s. So this process of having your products recalled, how to retrieve them from the market, and the processes for communication have been in place for several decades. In 2008, statewide requirements set by 1860 added some additional requirements for those products that have been sold in California. Those additional requirements were to reimbursement processes and communication requirements that are faster than the federal requirements. Recalls have increased in frequency, volume, and toxicity. In 2025 alone, there were 422 federal recalls covering 34.5 million units, estimating about 5 million of those units here in California. And these recalls happen because there are unsafe components, unsafe design features, and a lot of these products cover batteries, electronics, mattresses that are going into established programs. And these products have increased cost, increased administrative burdens, and increased risk because of these unsafe features of the product. So this practice effectively externalizes the private liability onto unfunded public mandates, forcing the program funders to basically absorb these costs. AB-2462 updates that 2008 law by delegating oversight authority, expanding the list of collection sites eligible for reimbursement, and updating the penalties and enforcement to match some of the other programs that are overseen by CalRecycle that have passed since 2008. So just making sure there's cohesiveness in the CalRecycle enforcement procedures. So it really uses real-world experiences to inform and update to an established program that's really important this works. Recalled products is considered one of the original EPR programs. And in a time when we need EPR to really work, cleaning up this program is a really important step. So with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to speak in support? Come on up.
Thank you. Melissa Sparks-Kranz with the League of California Cities in support.
Tony Hackett with Californians Against Waste in support.
John Kennedy, Rural County Representatives of California, and also mutuing on behalf of the National Stewardship Action Council in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone in opposition?
Good afternoon. Elizabeth Esquivel with the California Manufacturers and Technology Association, representing a diverse cross-section of manufacturers across the state, respectfully in opposition to AB 2462 in its current form. We appreciate the author's intent to strengthen consumer safety and improve the effectiveness of product recalls, and we also want to acknowledge and thank the author's office and the sponsors for their engagement. While we support the goal of ensuring recalled products are safely removed from circulation, we have several concerns and are seeking clarification in the following areas, which are also noted in the committee analysis. First, it's the interaction with existing recall logistics systems. Manufacturers currently utilize reverse logistics centers and other third-party systems to manage recall collection, segregation, and disposition. AB 2462 expands the authority return points to include several other entities noted in the bill. However, the bill does not specify how these newly authorized collection points are intended to integrate with existing recall logistics systems, or whether they are expected to operate in parallel or in coordination with the manufacturer-directed recall processes. Clarification may be warranted to avoid duplication or inconsistent handling pathways. Second is enforcement authority and regulatory coordination. The analysis identifies the need to clarify and respective enforcement roles of CalRecycle and DTSC, particularly where recalled products may also be classified as hazardous waste under the Hazardous Waste Control Law. Given the overlapping jurisdictions considerations, CMT believes additional specificity regarding agency coordination, enforcement sequencing, and applicable standards would improve implementation certainty. And third, secondary market and non-traditional collection points. While the bill extends obligation to thrift retail stores and other reuse entities, tracking recalled products within secondary markets present operational challenges due to distributed inventory flows and limited traceability mechanisms. Additionally, clarification may be helpful regarding expectations for identifications, segregation, and return processes in these settings, particularly where product origin or recall status may not be readily verifiable at point of receipt. Lastly, penalty structure and compliance administration. As noted, the bill gives authority to CalRecycle to impose administrative penalties. The committee analysis also notes concerns regarding the potential disproportionality where compliance issues arise from logistical or third-party factors, clarification regarding enforcement discretion, cure periods, or safe harbor provisions may assist in ensuring penalties are applied consistently in relation to feasible compliance pathways. CMTA remains committed to continued engagement with the author on these technical and logistical issues with clarification in these areas, particularly regarding system integration, interagency coordination, secondary market implementation, and enforcement parameters. The bill may be better positioned to achieve its stated objectives in a workable manner across the existing recall and waste management frameworks. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers in opposition? Come on up.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Edwin Bourbon on behalf of the Baby Safety Alliance, a trade association of juvenile product manufacturers. Also respectfully opposed for the reasons outlined by CMTA. Also, it's unclear whether the legislation allows for refunds, repairs, or replacements as allowed by federal law. So another point of clarification. Thank you.
Thank you. Whenever you bring it back, questions? Assembly member.
Yes, good afternoon. I have a couple of questions about implementation and readiness. What's the realistic timeline for implementation and what benchmarks should we expect in 1 year?
I could have my expert reply to that. That's great.
Respectfully through the chair.
Yep.
I mean, implementation would take a couple months maximum. I mean, these processes have been in place since the 70s, and really the California extra steps have been in place for almost 20 years. So we're really just adding more entities who can file into the process, but not changing the process. So the file to request a reimbursement doesn't change, and the process for determining how to reimburse doesn't change.
Doesn't change. And how will you guys measure success? Reduced illegal disposal, cost savings, compliant rates, like, you know, I'm going to support you guys today, but as we're doing these bills, I always want to see how are we measuring the success of it. Mm-hmm. So how are you guys measuring success and what's your benchmarks for that?
I think the easiest benchmark for success would be the reduced cost and burden to these entities who are adding, so secondhand thrifts and the recycling centers. So we're seeing in just this summer alone, the Anchor brand battery recalls, we're seeing them show up at every event, every location. So if we can reduce that cost burden, would be a really clear success.
Do you guys collect data? Like, are you guys collecting that data so that next year, this time, maybe we could come back and see how it's working?
Yeah, because during the reimbursement process, and as was mentioned, the refund, repair, replacement that is decided at the federal level, sometimes these, they need receipts or evidence of the disposal. So as local government are being forced to change their processes, we're also getting better data from these new processes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Additional questions? Seeing none, Assembly member, would you like to close?
I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. No, appreciate the thoughtful bill. You know, I believe it's reasonable for manufacturers to be responsible for ensuring their recalled product is safely returned to them. I think this is a good step. Sounds like there'll be some additional
And we'll continue to work with the sponsors
conversations,
on.
absolutely. And it is enjoying an aye recommendation from the chair today. Do I have a motion on this bill? Pappen and second Bauer-Cahan. And this is due pass to the Committee on Appropriations. Please call the roll.
All right, this is file item number 4, AB-2462, authored by Assemblymember Pellerin. The motion is due pass to the Committee on Appropriations. Connolly?
Aye.
Connolly, aye. Ellis? Not voting. Bauer-Cahan? Bauer-Cahan, aye. Castillo? Lee? McKinner? McKinner, aye. And Pappen? Pappen, aye.
Thank you very much.